Welcome to a new market update, and in this update we're discussing the new all-time high for Bitcoin. It's happening, we are into a new run and we are seeing that we are having strength here through which we could be expecting some more upwards momentum. However, euphoria is getting towards very high levels, so should we actually be expecting a heavy run to be taking place? Or is this bull cycle going to last longer? Or are we already at the end of the bull cycle? All questions, and we're going to shine our light on this topic in this small update today. Later today we'll be discussing altcoins as usual. So do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also do not forget to check out my Twitter and Instagram where you can find daily content on the markets. Also do not forget to like this YouTube update, as that is helping me a lot to grow this channel towards the next level. Looking at the price action, we've already discussed the crucial levels that we were anticipating for a support. And that was the entire green zone that we have here, and also the 58k level was very important to see sustain as support. That's actually what has been taking place here. We are flipping that level, and since then we're showing ourselves strength. As a matter of fact, if you want to use the Fibonacci extension to derive the next take profit, we can use this small impulse wave and get towards the next zone around 73k. But also, the question is right now that we are seeing this massive strength on the price action. What we forget is that at the end of the year we always get a very nice corrective move resulting into a correction across markets. And if we're going to dive into Ethereum in a little bit, you can see the price action of Ether, which is maybe ripe for a corrective move, given the fact that it has been accelerating quite fast. So looking at Bitcoin at this stage, looking at the daily structure, yes, it's looking great. But this scenario is still what I'm looking at right now. I assume that we can continue running towards 75k or around that area. And after that, we're going to have a corrective move before we're going to accelerate once again going into 2022. Are we going to finish the bull cycle relatively soon? I do not expect that to be happening. I think we're into lengthening cycles through which we can have a lengthening cycle this time too, which means that the cycle will take longer. This also means that we could be seeing excessive returns in which we can run higher than the most of us are expecting to see happening, which we already have been seeing on Shiba Inu and Phantom, for instance. But overall, I do not assume that we are going to grind all the way towards 90k without any correction at all. I think we will be seeing some scenario described like this. Looking at the lower time frames for Bitcoin at this stage, as you can see, I've got the Fibonacci extension derived here. We've got this beautiful retest done, broke back above 60.8k and started to accelerate upwards since. I've mentioned this in the update earlier that a breakthrough was a trigger for continuation. If you're looking at the price action right now and you're looking for day trades for Bitcoin, I think the chance of a day trade long might be gone. So you're looking at opportunities that are at 63.6, but you're also looking at opportunities around 66k for any scalp or day trade entries at this stage. I'm not assuming that I'm not assuming that you should be getting into any day trade at this point, as we've just been acting inside a range, and in that range you would have been taking those positions already. So if you're not into a long position yet on Bitcoin, you're maybe doing it wrong, or you just should be sitting on the sidelines waiting for another opportunity to come, which will be coming there. As I've discussed, we might be getting a solution like this in which we're just going to have some corrective moves before we're going to continue moving. So this is the next target zone that I'm looking at, 72 to 75k. I'm assuming that we're going to have that corrective move after that. If you want to get into any scalps on Bitcoin, 66 is probably the next one you should be looking at. Ethereum against USDT, and as I discussed, we're getting into an area where I assume we might be getting a corrective move. the Fibonacci extension tool, based on the previous impulse wave, gets ourselves towards a target zone of 4.9k. If we are doing it based on the entire previous wave, we can even start using 6k as the second zone. So these two levels are the ones that I'm currently watching for any take profit at this stage. And especially when you're looking at Ether against USDT, we can also use this chart based from the previous run, in which such a big run usually ends in a very harsh and painful corrective move. Are we going to get it here? I'm not sure whether we will. We can still run a little bit higher, given the fact that Bitcoin can also run like 6 to 7% higher. Not sure whether Ether against Bitcoin will be showing strength, but then probably Ether against USDT will still run around 3 to 4 to 5%, slightly above 5k, before we're going to get this standard correction, and then we are ready for the next bull run to be taking place. So the levels that I'm watching for Ether are 5k and 6k. These two are the ones that I'm looking at. But if you are into a long position on Ether, I think you should be looking for some take profits at this stage already, given the fact that the price action is just looking quite vertical at this stage. And what I'm looking at is the current phase, or what I'm looking at in the price action is the following. Right now we're just making constant higher lows, right? So we're flipping levels for continuation, which is a trigger for further continuation. So I think that if we want to continue moving, we're going to see some corrective move happening in the coming days, as we have been seeing all those retests taking place. And then we're probably diving into the area that we have here. So you're looking at a position or a point around 4.6 to 4.5, 4,550 for a potential long entry. However, if that bounce is not going to be sufficient enough and we're going to reverse, we are going to take some of those longs out here, as many stops are placed in between. So if we're taking this bounce, we bounce back up, we reverse, we take this one out, we take this one out, and probably we're going to land around this area of 4k once again, taking out a few of those stops here from long entries, as pretty much everyone is long at this stage. The FOMO is quite high, and that usually results in such a painful corrective move. So be aware of that fact, that if you want to day trade Ethereum at this point, the best entry is gone, and you probably are going to look at higher time frame take profits at this stage and waiting for that harsh correction to be taking place before you're entering the markets overall. So that is my update for today, this morning. I'll be back later today discussing some altcoins. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also do not forget to check out my Twitter and Instagram. I'll be back soon.